UBL Nation, welcome back to another installment of Pickems here, hosted by Broken Pinky. You can already see a little guest there, but yeah, after a very successful week 1 outing, we're back at it once again, and I have a special guest here, one who you might know as the one who stole the returning champions' wiener last week, something along those lines. Introduce yourself.
Hello. No, I'm not Winda. It's me, Rat. I just stole his intro because what's he gonna do? He's not participating this season.
I will get Winda on the Pickems picture at some point, and he'll be very cross with you and Cannor for stealing his intro. But until that day, I have the wrong matchup pulled up. This is so slay. There we go. We'll get to balling ballers in a second.
Yeah, I love those guys.
Also, Rat, I hope you have the dock open.
I do, in fact, have the dock open.
Nice. I only enlisted.
I'm always prepared, except for when I'm not.
True. Honestly, same here. And I'm gonna be honest, folks. I was not prepared, even though I woke up at like too early o'clock because I have 8 a.m. classes because college is a scam.
100% agreed.
Yeah. So, I don't think we have all of our week 1 games played, so I didn't bother to do the standings quite yet of like what we got right and wrong. Well, we did get one wrong.
Right.
But that's not even I guess.
Yeah! Comment Rat W, let's go!
No, you fucked him up. That was really funny. That was so funny. But
You know what they say, when there's a rock slide, there's a way.
There was definitely a rock slide. Oh boy. Oh boy, was there a rock slide. Anyway, we have a brand spanking new set of matchups here for you guys. We're going to start things off right and early. We have the Camarocho Oranges, and we have Titanic Destruction. We got Mr. Orange Good Boy. Is that Mr.? I think it was that. My bad. Mix Orange Good Boy and Haunch Kris.
Yeah, from the moment, I just need to say, my money's on Orange. Just, like, you have a couple of fighting weak Pokemon, or not fighting weak Pokemon, fairy weak Pokemon, sorry. And there's a Flutter Mane right there. Like, your resist is Doublade, which doesn't want to exist near Flutter Mane.
Well, it's fine with existing near Flutter Mane, because Shadow Sneak pops it like a balloon.
Yeah, true.
However, the bigger thing I'm noticing is that this is a rain team with a lot of Pokemon weak to flying moves, and that is a Tornadus Theory, and that is going to click Bleakwind Storm and outspeed your entire team.
Yeah, and also... Oh, wait. I forgot Polito got Drizzle. I'm still used to last season when the rain setter was Riolu.
Couldn't have been better myself. But... yeah, I definitely agree with you in that I want to give it to Orange, because there's a Bleakwind Spammer and a Hurricane Spammer in the form of that D-Knight that look they look kind of Django Unchained in this matchup. I don't really know what Chris's game plan when drafting it was. I mean, obviously Rain, but like,
right.
I don't know. I just see all this type overlap, and I just get a little bit sad. Granted, the weakness chart on the side of Orange isn't the best. I mean, I don't think you love being weak to Ghost, or not having a Ghost resist when you have the Doublade there, which is pretty threatening.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, all of Orange's team outruns Chris's team, and Kris only has Trick Room on Miss Magius, I think. So yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, it's gonna be an extremely rough matchup for Kris. Although I've seen Kris do some really good plays, so I'm gonna have some faith. But at the same time, if I was a gambling man, and I am, I'd put all my money on Orange.
You are a gambler, famously. Also, I think it's very funny how, like, I feel like you kind of want Slitherwing for the Ludicolo to first impression it, but it does not hit a single other goddamn Pokemon on this team other than Lucario. Like, everything else completely wall Slitherwing, and I think that's very funny.
It is fairly humorous.
A bit humorous in it. But, yeah. I mean, I think Orange has a very strong matchup here. Fluttermane, Dragonite, Torn, Arcanine is good. I will say Zapdos on the side of Kris is pretty scary, though. Orange does not have a good way of switching into it without burning Terra. Especially since the electric type Rotom is neutral to Thunder, which is never a fun prospect. So Orange is going to have to find their way around that little conundrum. But I think if they do, and if they account for the priority on stuff like Azu and Doublade, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, are you going with the orange good boy?
Yeah, overall, very simple matchup. I'm very confident Orange is taking it, but I'm excited to see it play out.
I too am excited to see it played out. I love watching games being played, and that is my way of not very nicely saying to the people that have not played their week 1 to play your games.
Don't worry, I'll hunt them for sport.
True. Hold on, I need to organize my shit a little bit. Rats, Orange. See, this is only the most professional broadcast to be presented to the UBL Nation. And we're just gonna realign it, and boom, baby. All right, we're in business.
Yeah, I love business.
Business is pretty good. You know what else is pretty good? Balling.
Yeah, I'm always balling, one way or the other.
Always be balling. We have Mr. Radicus Finch up against the Fairfax Reality Gator, as always, being coached by, I believe that is going to be Big E.
Indeed.
So, I guess, this is your matchup. I'm going to let you take the lead on this one.
I'm not going to lie. I think this matchup could be pretty rough for me when that Ogerpon hits that Terrasilize button.
Oh, right, it can Terra. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I am inclined to agree. So
I was prepping the other day, and Lord, I hate that thing.
Oh no, it's bad. Like Ogerpon is so like adorable, cutesy, girly pop, and then you prep against it and you want to kill yourself. It's the best thing ever.
Oh yeah,
I love her so much.
I drafted Ogre Water a couple seasons ago, and I loved using it so much. And now being on the other side of the wheel, I want to like give a really belated apology to everyone in that season.
It's kind of insane how much like Ivy Cudgel, Grass Stab of choice, Woodhammer if real, and then also Play Rough just kind of mixes up your team a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, just a little bit, because your fire.
My strategy going in is pick a god and pray.
I think your strategy is Terrify or something. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
You gotta burn that Terrifier.
But like the problem if going Terrifier is there's a whole Walking Wake and Sandy Shocks there.
Yeah, there's a Wakington walking, and also Lopunny kills every single mon on your team except for Celesteela.
Yep. And Celesteela's not even good because of the whole Ogerpon.
Exactly. Yeah, like the core of Ogerpon, Wake, and Lopunny into your team is a little bit Django Unchained. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's a little ridiculous.
Yep. Then there's the priority chicken here, Murkrow with the Tailwind.
I'm curious how much was Torkoal, because I feel like there's 3 Sun teams and none of them have Torkoal.
It's a great question. Let me double check that real quickly.
I'm gonna look this up, but yeah, this
20 points. You know what? Understandable.
You said 12 points?
20.
20? Oh my god.
Yeah, for a whole Torkoal.
Holy shit.
And Ninetales is only 14.
Oh, I would get Ninetales. Are you kidding me? I guess Ninetales is
oh my god, Ninetales would have drafted. Yeah. So at that point, just grab yourself a Vulpix.
I have Singles Brain, so I'm like, oh yeah, Ninetales. You just Baton Pass, Healing Wish. It's a good Pokemon. And then I think about a support move pool, and I realize it's like dry ramen. So
it's one of the Pokemon of all time, and that's the most positive thing I can say about Ninetales.
Is it? Is it even? I don't know. Anyway, you do got a Terrifier. On the other hand, though, while your Terrakion is slower than everything that kills it in one hit, Rock Slide is pretty good.
It always is
pretty good. Yeah, I think Rock Slide Close Combat is pretty good. I think if you can set up, like... Because, I don't know if you watched, but Cannor and I talked about it, and we found out that Hydreigon does get both Tailwind and Beat Up. So I think that could be a fun route. However, There's also the possibility of Trick Room, which also looks really good here.
Quite frankly, I don't like my odds against Eris this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't either. I didn't mean to like pull you on a matchup where it's not looking so hot, but it's not looking so hot, unfortunately.
You know what? I'll just hit him with the 9 win. I'm gonna rock slide my way to victory again. Let's pray.
All right, you got yourself.
Someone needs to believe in me, so I'm gonna do it.
I feel like it's fucked up if I bring you here and I don't even vote for your team. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. I think Eris, like logically speaking, I think Eris is taking this one. But I gotta vote for myself.
You did win an 8-2 matchup last week, so I think. I mean, as you said very famously, where there is a rock slide, there is a way. So I guess get sliding. Other than that, sorry, buddy. I'm gonna have to go with Biggie on this one.
If I get a single other flinch with rock slide, I'm renaming my Terrakion to the Cha-Cha slide. That's a promise.
Okay, by one more flinch, do you mean this game or this season? Because I feel like you've already used your rock slide flinches for this season.
You know what? You know what? Yeah, I'll just rename him right now.
There you go.
He used to be named Terrakion, but now he's the Cha-Cha slide.
Yeah, I noticed that you put all your guys to have rat in them. By the way, fun fact: nicknaming your Pokemon does give you better RNG. This is proven fact, and it's why Cannor lost because he didn't nickname his Pokemon.
Exactly. Wait, this might actually be a proven theory, because every single time I go up against him, I have my Pokemon nicknamed. He never does, and there's always RNG.
It's the power of friendship, I'm just saying.
It really is.
Speaking of friends, we got St. Louis Talonflame, and we got the Coda Fan Club here to take us into the third matchup of this week. Why don't you tell us a little bit about these teams?
So, quick fun fact, I was so close to taking Tapu Fini in transactions. I would have accidentally sniped Cathy. And I'm kind of glad I did it, because this team is a menace.
Cathy's team? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
Stack Attacka being 21 points, I was like, I don't know. And then I remembered, oh, right, it can Terra.
Yeah, I was so close to taking Stack Attacka. If both Mega Gengar and Celesteela were sniped, I was going hard Trick Room this season.
The first time Rat takes Trick Room, I mean, you do have Exeggutor and Runa Regis. Like, you actually have a Trick Room core this time, which I'm so proud of you for that, because I love Trick Room. It feels
so odd. I don't feel normal this way. Like, last season when I had my genuine 0 Trick Room mode team, that was peak Rat right there.
That was so funny. When your Trick Room center was Mega Gengar, and I don't think I saw you ran in prison once, which is so funny.
Not once.
You just let it happen, and you still made playoffs.
Exactly, and I almost made it to semifinals, but then the low roll and the crit in the same turn happened.
I feel like that's come out in therapy a few times.
It will. The moment I can afford a therapist,
you know
they're going to be hearing so much about competitive mons.
Anyway, we are back into the matchup a little bit. I'm always inclined to be like, yeah, Cathy's got this, because she's just one of the best battlers in this league and one of the best builders as well.
Right.
However, fire-type attacks are kind of strong.
Yeah, I really, really like the combination of both Landorus and Charizard here, because they just go insane here.
Yeah, Yard and Lando are super good. Venusaur also hits this team extremely hard. The Sludge Bomb resist is Marowak and the Zoroark. And
sometimes Stack Attacka.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Stack Attacka, but like all of them get kind of blown up by Earth Power, so.
Yeah. I mean, you do lose the opportunity to go for Sleep Powder, but, that's fine.
I would just go Sleep Powder 3 attacks, honestly.
Sludge
Bomb, Earth Power, Sleep Powder, Growth.
Because Misty Terrain's going to be up for most of the time, so I feel like Sleep Powder's kind of a dead slot.
True, you're right. Just run 3 attacks, or just run Growth.
Oh, Growth is fun.
Growth is very funny. I will say, there's like no fake out. I guess there's Sableye. That's the fake out. And Follow Me Clef. Wait a minute, we might be cooking. But yeah, this is a very awkward matchup here for both of these guys, I feel like, because both teams kind of blow each other up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I feel
Stack
like this one's gonna
Attacker
be a battle of momentum.
Like, Stack Attacker explodes this team, and Yard explodes this team. So, like, if Cathy can get up Trick Room, I think she's going to be in a good spot. If she cannot get up Trick Room, or if, like, Pyrus is expecting that and goes counter Trick Room, things could get pretty dicey. Especially because Cathy's fast mode isn't, like, that fast. And notably, I'm pretty sure Venusaur and Sun is still faster than Roaring Moon with booster speed. So...
Thankfully, I actually know that one off the top of my head. I'm fairly confident the answer is it's not. I ran into the same matchup last season for Roaring Moon versus Venusaur and Sun.
I'm gonna look this up. Is it level 50 or level 100?
Level 50.
Okay, let's look this stuff up. But yeah, I guess while I'm looking it up, you can talk a bit more.
Alright. Overall, yeah, like we said a little bit earlier, this is just gonna be a battle of momentum. Whoever gets the playing field on their side of the things first is going to be having an absolute field day. And it feels really odd to say this, but I think I'm gonna have to put my bet on Pyrus. I feel they could set things up in their favor a little easier than Cathy can in this matchup.
That's fair. I did just look it up, and booster speed Roaring Moon hits 282. Chlorophyll Venusaur hits 290. So
Maybe I just speed creeped last season.
Maybe, or you just looked at Modest Venusaur, which is fair because Modest gives it
I might have been. I might have done
massive
that.
power boost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Venusaur, Charizard, Landorus all look super strong. I think Gallade is strong here. Sableye. I mean, okay, let's be honest with ourselves. The top 7 on Pyrus' team is always going to be strong.
Yeah.
But
the top 2, the bottom 2 are here for moral support.
Yeah, they're the cheerleaders. They go inside the little... I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But you know what I mean? Like, they're here for moral support. Top 7 are always going to be super scary. I'm curious to see how Cathy is going to prep and build around it, though. Because, like, it is looking rough, but there are things that she can do. I'm pretty sure Stack Attack gets Wide Guard, so there's at least that respite against Heat Wave. I think Terra Dragon is decently likely on something to deal with that Charizard. But, yeah, it's going to be rough. But I also I don't know. I really believe in Cathy. I'm gonna be real.
Oh, I 100% agree. I feel either choice is equally maybe not equally, but they're both very close here, just by looking at the matchups.
I think that matchup is decidedly in Pyrus' favor, but I think Cathy is gonna go to the workshop on this one. But maybe also not because it's week 2. So I don't know.
That makes sense, yeah.
We'll see. I think it's definitely it could go either way very easily. But yeah, up next.
The Man, he's here!
The king is here. And he's up against Lord Nobody. And this is a familiar matchup. It happened twice last season, and I think both times went in favor of Cannor. But
indeed it did.
It's a new team, new season, new teams on both sides, and still not quite sure what Nobody is doing. But Cannor, I believe, now has Indeedee, which is a little guy.
Indeed. E.
Good one.
Thank you. I worked hard on that one.
Appreciate it. But yeah. Oh, and also no Crobat, there's a Talonflame. Wow, I didn't realize Cannor made this many changes. But yeah, Bullshit Brothers back at it again. You already know the vibes because they outspeed fucking everything. And I think Talonflame is also super good here. And I think Indeedee is super good here. And I think Magmar is super good here. And I think pretty much everything is good here on Cannor's side. Like, Cannor has a really strong team for this matchup.
Yeah, genuinely extremely good. I don't think Cannor is gonna lose this one. My firmly supporting Cannor on this one. That's not even biased. I do think he's got it. Like, what's it called? Nobody can't even go with his tried and true steam engine Blastoise trick because we got Indeedee here to set up the terrain. That's a risk he's gotta take into account.
Yep. And I mean, Indeedee is so good here because it also stops stuff like E-Speed on the Genesect, Sucker Punch on the Raticate, Fake Out on the Hariyama. It's like super good.
Indeed.
E.
I was trying so hard to hold myself back from saying the same joke again. Thank you for doing it for me.
I know. I will say Cannor might run into trouble in that its only natural flying resist is that Electros.
Right.
Granted, Eel is pretty solid in this matchup, but I think Terra Steel is going to be pretty likely on something or some other, because Hyper Voice from Salamence is very spammable otherwise.
Yeah, and it's gonna hurt.
Yeah. I think also Decorate shenanigans are very scary.
100%, yeah. And
I think...
I don't think nobody's only redirection is Spupa, so he can't even steal those boosts for himself.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it could, but just run safety goggles, idiot. Haha, I don't know.
Exactly. Or, you know what, just Terra Grass, burn it early just for that reason. Just ignore the entire Salamence there.
I'm pretty sure that the Hariyama gets wide guard.
It does, yeah.
Does Blastoise get wide guard as well? I feel like Blastoise
Let me
should
see.
get wide guard.
It does not.
Does not? Okay, so Hariyama's the only like respite, and I guess Faticate against Expanding Force and Indeedee, which means that Indeedee is going to click Choice Scarf in Expanding Force, and
yeah,
nobody's just gonna have to deal with
it. There's really not much they could do about that.
Yeah, I still don't really get what nobody's team is doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really hope that like. I really hope I can find out over the course of the season, because just looking at it, I'm like, okay, huh. But yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, Rat. I think Cannor not only does he win this matchup, but I think he wants to win this matchup, because like, I'd imagine he's a little pissed and he wants to bounce back.
I can confirm that is in fact true. The amount of calcs I've seen him doing is worrying, to say the least.
Yeah, you got the insider scoop in the mod chat too. Like that shit is scary.
Indeed.
Speaking of confusing teams, we have Vatrena up here against Final Gambit, and yeah, Cannor and I kind of spoke a little bit about not really understanding Vatrena's team, but yeah, we are here to ponder a little bit about this matchup, and yeah, I mean, Deoxys clicking Expanding Force is always going to be pretty freaking scary, but there is a bit of a terrain battle going on here yet again in the form of that Tapu Bulu.
Never thought I'd see the day I say Tapu Bulu looks good here.
Yeah, it's such a fraud of a Pokemon, but like here it looks it's so silly.
Like genuinely, I'd prefer Thwacky over Bulu on most occasions.
Well, yeah, because it gets fake out.
True.
It gets fake out in U-turn. I mean, what more could you want?
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, Thwacky is a very important piece to stop the side spam. Trick Room is very, very good on the side of what's their fucking name? Gambit. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I guess the stopgap to that is that Conkeldurr is slower than Mawile, which is like the main Trick Room force that Gambit has. But it's not gonna kill Mawile, and then it just kind of explodes to play rough, assuming Terra notwithstanding.
Right.
I still feel like looking at Gambit's team though that their team is a little bit incomplete in terms of that Trick Room core, but I feel like
it's missing like one little thing that really help push it over the edge.
It's missing like a Clawitzer or like or an Exeggutor. I feel like we've both seen like both those Pokemon, but like a really slow, strong special attacker, I think would do this team wonders.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that.
Over like maybe Meowscarada, I don't know. Let's see what's down there in the dumpster diving. But
I do enjoy dumpster diving. It's one of my favorite parts of draft.
yeah, it's a sacred honor, you know. I feel there's a Drampa down there. I feel like Drampa actually kind of goes crazy on this team. I'm not gonna hold you.
Wait, you're right. And it's only 8 points too.
Yeah, big Drampy. Damn, we're going dumpster diving together. But yeah, I think there is like a little bit of that secret sauce missing from Gambit's team. But regardless, Vatrena's team just feels like kind of dysfunctional. I'm generally not a fan of like 2-mon cores in draft, especially when there's multiple of them on the same team. Because like,
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I feel like all too often you get caught in the position where you have your 2-mon core out, one of them dies, and then you lose so much momentum having to switch the other one out to get your other 2-mon core set up.
Exactly.
And it's just a pain. But
Because I can see the vision behind that Vatrena's team, but at the same time, like, I'm not a fan of the vision.
I also just feel like Wheezing Gigas is the wrong... Like, Gigas Wheezing plus Psy Spam doesn't go together as well as something like Dozogiri plus Mouse Ape. Like, that's a two...
Yeah.
Like, that can be slapped
gosh.
onto each other because, like, they're generally solid Pokemon outside of it. But Gigas Wheezing plus and Psy Spam are so reliant on their partners that, like, if you get a turn out of position, you get, like, the read wrong on who they attack, you're just boninated. Like,
Exactly, yeah.
so yeah. I think this is...
I feel like if this...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, sorry. I just feel that if Vatrena leaned a little bit more into either one of his modes, this team would be genuinely so much more terrifying.
I mean, I think genuinely get rid of Gigas Wheezing, and you have so many more points to play with to flesh out your Psy Spam. Because, like, the Trick Room is already really good. So I think just a bit more into that fast mode would do wonders here. Especially because, like, you have your Expanding Force guy, you have Drift Limited set Tailwind. Maybe get, like, another good special attacker that deal, like, a strong fighting special attacker or a strong fairy special attacker. And I guess Weezing can kind of fill that role with, like, Specs. But, like, you don't want to bring Weezing just to click Specs Strange Team and do not much else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Gambit is the better player here by a bit. I think this matchup is really hard to call, though.
I am inclined to agree with that. I feel like it genuinely could go either way. Gambit does have their way to deal with Deoxys Expanding Force. Mawile resist it, might not be able to take it the best, but it can at least live a turn. Meowscarada's immune for a moment, assuming they don't go Protean.
I'm assuming it's going to be...
Farigiraf's also resist. We got Tapu Bulu.
Yeah. I think it's just, like, Psy Spam is really hard to bring into Gambit's team. So that forces, like, Trick Room and Gigas Weezing. And I think that between stuff like the Follow Me on the War Turtle, and, Gambit's own Trick Room, Prowess, plus Bastiodon, which we didn't even talk about. Like, all of the Trick Room code on Vatrena's team it's mostly physical. Like, Magnezone, Aggie, like, somewhat threaten the special side, but, like, Crawdon and Conkeldurr do not want to look at Bastiodon when it's, like, Terra fighting or something. Like, something Terra, so it's not the worst type in the game.
And then it sets up its Iron Defense and its Body Press. Does it get Body Press? I'm pretty sure it does.
Oh, it does. Yeah. Otherwise, I do not think that there would be a Bastiodon. I think Bastiodon even gets Wide Guard. So, like, Expanding Force is Giga Boned.
Oh, you're right, it does.
So, yeah. I'm going to give it to Gambit. I'm gathering that you're inclined to do the same.
Indeed, I am. I feel Gambit has more items, what's it called?
Options?
Methods to screw over Vatrena. Yeah, options was the word I was looking for, thank you.
Yeah. I don't know. It has been a weird season in terms of the teams, because, like, I feel like everyone ran out of points.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there.
Even though it was the same amount of points as last season, I feel like, I don't know why, I feel like I had such a fewer amount of points to work with, even though it was the same as last time.
Yeah. Anyway, our final matchup is upon us. We have the Flowerman Finneon, and we have the Unbroken Leaves.
This is gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. We got Lyric, we got Gig. So we have the other of the hard terrain teams. I guess hard in quotation mark, but, like, the terrain teams. You have Lyric with the Coco, Jugulus core with that Alolan Raichu as well. Which is again like a team I'm still like kind of feeling out how it functions, because I get the blueprint, but it does feel like kind of like it's cut in half. Compared to Gig,
I kind of understand what you're saying.
Yeah, Gig's running a much more standard team in comparison. However, Gig's electric immunity is a Palmot, so I think electric type attacks from Lyric are pretty strong in this matchup.
100%. Their only fake out is Scrafty, which solid, but at the same time, it's your only option here. And you know, there's a whole Coco there. You don't want to burn your Terra early to take the Dazzling Gleam.
Yeah, especially because like you Terra into like what, Steel, and then Decidueye eats you alive anyway, or you Terra Poison and now you're weak to Gothitelle.
Yeah. And once again, going to the Steel type example, we got a Paldean Tauros right there.
Yeah, I mean, Paldean Tauros is really good at shutting down Ogerpon Gouging, which is, you know, a core that Gig's team very much wants to play to, and it also works as a make it rain resist. Right. Granted, it's probably gonna have to Terra to deal with the Ogerpon, or just run Rindo Berry and be fat as fuck.
Yeah. Yo, Rindo Kaiju, let's go. Does that even work?
Wait, what?
Rindo Berry Kaiju, does that even work?
I don't think it does. Because it doesn't.
I'm gonna test that later. I hope
it just eats it again.
Oh, you're right.
So I think you just intimidate and you ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Tauros is really good here. I think Decidueye is good here. I think obviously Coco is good here. Obviously Chugulus is good here. Gothitelle is obviously gonna be good here as well. So I think Lyric has a really
Shadow Tag is busted.
Shadow Tag is busted, and I mean Lyric played week 1 so well. In a very awkward matchup, she navigated that really well. So I don't know. I feel like Lyric is in a really good spot. I feel like she's playing with a lot more confidence than I've seen from her in past seasons, which is good to see.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I've seen that last game, I saw that she was willing to make a lot of plays I feel like she wouldn't have made a couple seasons prior. And I'm living for it. I'm excited to see how she does.
Yeah, I think she's like, again, even if I don't really get her team, I think she understands it. And that's ultimately what matters most, because I'm just a dude with a microphone and the one not playing the games because I'm too scared to get my ass handed to me.
That's a mood.
But yeah, Gig also has a really strong team, to be clear. Like, Gig's team, super strong, super synergistic. It works really well with together and with itself. And I think Gig has a lot of strong components in this matchup as well. I mean, Gouging Fire is a pretty solid electric resist, very hard for Lyric to break quickly. Scrafty, as you said, is really good. Ogerpon hits like a truck, as per usual. Goldango is pretty solid. But I think Lyric's just going to bring a lot of electric spam components. I don't think that Gig's team is very well equipped to handle that naturally. So he might be forced to reach into the tool bag and see what he can pull out. Which, don't get me wrong, he's done it before. He can definitely do it again. But I think the
Gig's a tricky opponent.
Is rough.
Because like, if Gig wants to run Terra Ground to be able to live the rising voltages, then they gotta deal with the whole Decidueye and what's it called, Tauros. If they run Terra Dragon to resist, now they gotta worry about Koku's Fairy Stab. Yeah. There's really like a lot of problems for Gig in this matchup.
And I mean, like, even if you try to go slow, which I feel like is a decently appealing option, you gotta worry about that Vikavolt, man. Vikavolt hits like a truck. Granted, Gouging is gonna like resist most of what it throws out, but I think Vikavolt is a very strong Terra Captain. I think Lyric has used it very well as a Terra Captain in the past. And it can Terra into like, I don't know, rock, ground, dragon, and it can just hit that Gouging, and it can just kind of keep trucking along with rising voltages. Or not rising voltages, but like thunderbolts.
Yeah.
I just wish it wasn't Levitate.
If it didn't have Levitate, it would be so good.
Right. Vikavolt makes me sad. I wish it was...
Give it Tinted Lens. Don't do that, but give it to it. Don't do that. Give it Tinted Lens.
As a ROM hack player, as I push in my glasses and snort through my nose, there's this game called Inclement Emerald, which makes Vikavolt a pseudo-legendary, and just makes it fast.
Oh, God.
and it's really funny. And I wish that mainline
You know,
games did that.
it should be fast. It's Pokedex keeps talking about, oh yeah, this bug so fast, but no, he's a fraud.
Yeah, Inclement Emerald. I think they gave Vikavolt still 145 special attack, and I think it was like 109 speed.
Jesus Christ!
A little bit scary, just a little bit scary. But anyway, speaking of the Vikavolt, I think we are both going to be favoring Lyric in this matchup.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Also, I do need to admit I am slightly biased. She's got the Alolan Raichu. That's my favorite Pokemon.
She does have the fat rat, the titular fat rat.
He's literally me for real. Look at the little lad right below the Gothitelle.
True. And, I mean, you're currently cosplaying as Dark Miku, and I mean, Gothitelle, this is not, like, the actual one, but, like, come on. She's, like...
Dark Miku would totally pack Gothitelle.
Well, I mean, there is a Primarina, though, so you are a little bit conflicted.
Yeah, true.
I think this game's going to be much closer than we're making it sound. I feel like we've very much been gassing up Lyric in this matchup. And I want to make it clear, I think Gig has a very strong assortment of things that he can do as well. I just think Lyric's a bit...
100%. I do think Gig has a good shot at winning this one. He's got a lot of options available to him. Palm up feels like a necessity, though. I just feel like Gig's a little bit more strapped to her options and more likely to be pushed into a corner in this matchup.
Also, I guess a kind of silly note is that you can't Revival Blessing your own Palmot, which means once your electric goes down, it do go down. But yeah, that is going to be this week. I think the matchups to watch are definitely going to be Lyric versus Gig, and then also Cathy versus Pyrus. I think those.
I'm so excited for those two.
I think those two are going to be the most fun for sure.
Indeed.
Gambit versus Vatrena is going to be a good one. I think Orange versus Kris is going to be silly. And then you versus Big E is going to be...
Oh god, I'm going to try not to think of that one.
I'm curious. I'm a bit curious. And then... What's left? Cannor versus Nobody. I still want to see how Nobody makes the team work, so I'm optimistic for that.
As am I.
But with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Rat's team to close out the video. Anything else you want to touch on before we sign off?
No, I think I've covered over all my thoughts for today. I'm really excited to see how these matches turn out. Terrified for my own, but excited to watch all the others.
Alright, and with that, I think it's going to be all. So thank you all so much for watching Week 2 Pickems of UBL Season 15. Thank you once again, Rat, for joining me on this little excursion.
Indeed, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week for Week 3. So stay tuned, good luck, and have fun. Peace.
Peace.